Own. A quiet truth controls more lives than most people realize. The people who are available every second often receive the least respect, while those who protect their time seem to attract more attention, more appreciation, and more influence. At first, this makes no sense. Own. Most of us are taught that being constantly available is a good thing. We believe that answering every message, accepting every request, and always being there for others will make people value us more. Yet reality often tells a very different story. Own. The person who drops everything for everyone is frequently taken for granted. The person who is always ready to help is often the one who gets ignored. Meanwhile, someone with strong boundaries, limited availability, and a clear focus on their own priorities appears far more respected. Why does this happen? Why do people naturally place higher value on what is less accessible? And why can being too available slowly reduce the way others see you? The answer goes much deeper than social skills. It is connected to human psychology, the way people assign value, and the hidden rules that shape relationships, success, and influence. Throughout history, the rare has always been valued more than the common. Gold is valuable because it is scarce. Diamonds are prized because they are difficult to find. Even in modern life, people are often drawn toward things that seem limited. What many fail to realize is that this same principle affects personal value. The way you manage your time, attention, and energy sends a powerful message to everyone around you. Without saying a single word, you are teaching people how much access they should have to you and how much they should respect your presence. In this video, you will learn why being constantly available can quietly damage your value, how people unconsciously judge your importance based on your boundaries, and why some individuals naturally command more respect without demanding it. You will discover the psychological principles that influence human behavior, the hidden mistakes that make people easy to ignore, and the practical habits that can help you become more respected in every area of life. Most importantly, you will learn the difference between becoming valuable and becoming arrogant, because many people confuse the two and end up pushing others away instead of earning genuine respect. Stay with us until the end, because one of the most powerful lessons in this video is also the one most people completely overlook. Once you understand it, the way you view your time, your relationships, and your personal value may never be the same again. If you enjoy content that helps you grow stronger, wiser, and more confident, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join us for more powerful insights. Now let's begin. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that the more available they are, the more valuable they become. It sounds logical at first. If you are always ready to help, always ready to answer, always ready to show up, people should appreciate you more. But human nature does not always work that way. In fact, the opposite often happens. People naturally place a higher value on things that are limited. This pattern can be seen everywhere. A product that is available in unlimited supply rarely creates excitement. A limited edition product attracts attention immediately. A seat at an event becomes more desirable when only a few are left. A rare opportunity feels more important than an opportunity that is available every day. The human mind is constantly measuring value through scarcity, whether people realize it or not. The same principle applies to your time, attention, energy, and presence. When people know they can reach you at any moment, they slowly stop seeing your availability as something valuable. At first, they may appreciate your willingness to help. They may thank you for being supportive and dependable, but over time, what was once appreciated becomes expected. What was once respected becomes normal. The special becomes ordinary. This shift happens so gradually that many people never notice it. They only notice the result. They notice that others seem less grateful. They notice that their efforts receive less recognition. They notice that they are giving more while receiving less respect. The reason is simple. People often value what they might lose more than what they already possess. When your attention is always available, people stop seeing it as a privilege. They begin seeing it as a guarantee. Many people spend years trapped in this cycle. They answer every message immediately. They rearrange their schedule whenever someone calls. They place other people's priorities above their own. They become the person everyone depends on. Yet despite all this effort, they often feel invisible. They feel overlooked. They feel exhausted. The strange part is that they cannot understand why. After all, they are doing everything they were told would make people like them. They are being kind, they are being generous, they are being helpful. Yet the respect they hope to gain never fully arrives. The reason is that kindness without boundaries can slowly become self-neglect. When people see that you are willing to sacrifice your own needs every time they ask, they learn an important lesson about you. They learn that your time is not a priority, even to yourself. Once that lesson is established, they begin treating your time accordingly. This is not always intentional. Most people are not trying to take advantage of others. They are simply responding to the standards they observe. If someone constantly shows that their plans can be interrupted at any moment, others begin assuming those plans were never very important. If someone always says yes, others stop treating that yes as meaningful. The more accessible you become, the less significance your availability carries. This is why some people find themselves stuck in relationships where they are constantly giving while receiving very little in return. They become the person who listens to everyone's problems but has nobody willing to listen to theirs. They become the person who makes sacrifices while others continue living comfortably. They become the person who is remembered only when someone needs a favor. Over time, resentment begins to grow, not because they dislike helping others, but because they realize their generosity is no longer being respected. Their presence has become predictable. Their support has become expected. Their effort has become invisible. This is one of the harsh realities of human behavior. People often become accustomed to whatever is consistently available. A luxury becomes normal when experienced every day. An extraordinary effort becomes ordinary when repeated without limits. Even the most valuable gift can lose its impact when given constantly. There is another hidden problem with being too available. It slowly changes the way you see yourself. Every time you place your needs below everyone else's, you send a message to your own mind. Every time you ignore your priorities to satisfy someone else's demands, you reinforce that message. The message is simple. Everyone else's time matters more than yours. Everyone else's needs deserve attention first. Everyone else's goals should come before your own. At first, this may seem like kindness. Over time, it becomes a habit. Eventually, it becomes an identity. Many people spend years living according to this pattern without realizing the damage it causes. They become experts at serving others while neglecting themselves. They become reliable for everyone except their own dreams. They become available for every request except the commitments they made to themselves. This is why people learn your value from your actions more than your words. You can tell people that your time is important. You can explain that you have goals. You can say that you deserve respect. But people pay closer attention to what you do than what you say. If you constantly abandon your priorities for others, they will believe your priorities are not important. If you repeatedly tolerate disrespect, they will assume disrespect is acceptable. If you allow interruptions at any hour, they will believe your time is always available. Human beings are constantly observing behavior. They are constantly gathering information about what is acceptable and what is not. The standards you enforce become the standards others follow. This is why two people can receive completely different treatment from the same group of individuals. One person is respected. The other is overlooked. One person's time is protected. The other person's time is consumed without hesitation. The difference often comes down to the standards they establish. The respected person communicates value through action. They do not abandon important commitments because someone suddenly demands attention. They do not say yes to every request. They do not sacrifice their goals to avoid disappointing people. Their behavior sends a clear message. Their time matters. Their focus matters. Their priorities matter. As a result, others learn to treat those things with respect. Many people misunderstand this concept. They believe that setting standards means becoming cold or selfish. They worry that protecting their time will make others dislike them. In reality, the opposite is often true. People tend to respect those who respect themselves. Confidence attracts respect because it signals self-worth. Boundaries attract respect because they communicate value. When you consistently protect your time and energy, people learn that access to you is not automatic. It must be earned. This does not mean becoming arrogant. It does not mean treating others poorly. It simply means recognizing that your attention is one of your most valuable resources. Think about how easily attention is wasted in modern life. Messages arrive every minute. Notifications compete for focus. Requests come from every direction. People demand immediate responses. Entire days disappear because attention is constantly being pulled away from meaningful goals. In this environment, the ability to protect your focus becomes incredibly powerful. Yet many people give away their attention without thinking. They respond to every distraction. They allow every interruption. They become available to everyone except themselves. Then they wonder why they feel stuck. The answer is often hidden inside their daily habits. Every interruption carries a cost. Every unnecessary commitment consumes energy. Every distraction steals time that can never be recovered. This is where boundaries become essential. Own. Unfortunately, boundaries are often misunderstood. Many people hear the word and immediately think of distance, rejection, or isolation. They picture someone pushing others away. They picture someone refusing to help. But true boundaries are not walls. They are filters. Own. They are guidelines that determine how your time and energy are used. A wall keeps everyone out. A boundary simply decides who enters and when. It allows you to remain kind without becoming overwhelmed. It allows you to remain generous without becoming exhausted. Own. It allows you to help others without abandoning yourself. Own. People with strong boundaries are often viewed differently because they understand something that many others do not. They understand that attention is limited, energy is limited, time is limited. Every day contains only a certain number of hours. Own. Every person has a finite amount of focus. Once those resources are spent, they cannot be recovered. Because of this, they become intentional about where those resources go. They do not allow every request to receive an automatic yes. Own. They evaluate what truly deserves their attention. They understand that saying yes to one thing often means saying no to something else. This ability to choose carefully creates value. It changes the way others interact with them. Own. When people know that your attention is limited, they treat it differently. They become more thoughtful about how they use it. They become more respectful of your schedule. They become more aware of your priorities. Own. The same person who once expected instant access may suddenly become patient when they realize your time is protected. The same person who once interrupted constantly may become more considerate when they understand that your focus is important. Own. The most successful people in many areas of life understand this principle deeply. Their value is not created by constant availability. Their value is created by purposeful allocation of their time and energy. They choose where to invest their attention. Own. They understand that every commitment carries a cost. They understand that protecting their focus is necessary for growth. As a result, they are often perceived as more valuable, more confident, and more respected. Not because they are better than anyone else, own, but because they have learned to treat their own time as valuable. Once that happens, the people around them begin doing the same. Own. There is a reason some people seem difficult to reach, and it is not because they are trying to create mystery around themselves. It is not because they are playing games. It is not because they believe they are better than everyone else. In many cases, own, they are simply busy building a life that matters to them. They wake up with goals that require attention. They have projects to complete, skills to develop, responsibilities to manage, and plans for the future that demand consistent effort. Own. Their days are filled with activities that move them forward. Because of this, they cannot afford to give unlimited access to everyone at every moment. Their limited availability is not a strategy designed to impress people. It is a natural result of having purpose. Own. This is one of the biggest differences between people who constantly chase attention and people who create value. One group spends a large part of their time trying to be noticed. The other spends their time becoming someone worth noticing. Own. The first group often waits for approval. The second group focuses on progress. The first group wants validation from the outside world. The second group finds satisfaction in building something meaningful. As a result, their behavior becomes very different. Own. One person checks their phone every few minutes, hoping someone will reach out. Another person becomes so focused on their goals that hours pass before they even notice their notifications. One person constantly seeks reassurance. Own. The other is too busy working on themselves to depend on approval from others. Own. This difference creates a powerful effect. People are naturally drawn toward individuals who appear focused and purposeful. There is something attractive about a person who has direction. There is something memorable about a person who values their time enough to protect it. Own. When people see someone who is always available, always waiting, and always ready to drop everything for attention, they unconsciously assume that person's life lacks important priorities. But when they see someone whose time is carefully managed, whose focus is protected, own, and whose attention is not easily obtained, they often perceive greater value. This is not because the person is being difficult. It is because focus itself creates respect. Discipline creates respect. Purpose creates respect. Human beings are constantly evaluating signals. Own. They notice how people spend their time. They notice what people prioritize. They notice who appears busy building a future and who appears trapped in endless distraction. Without realizing it, they form conclusions based on these observations. Own. Think about the most admired people in any field, whether it is business, sports, science, art, or leadership. These individuals are rarely admired because they are available 24 hours a day. Own. They are admired because they dedicate enormous amounts of time to their craft. They invest years into learning, practicing, improving, and growing. Their attention is directed toward meaningful goals. They understand that greatness requires sacrifice. Own. Every hour spent chasing approval is an hour not spent building skills. Every hour spent trying to satisfy everyone is an hour taken away from personal growth. This is why high-value individuals often seem harder to reach. They are not hiding, they are working. Own. They are creating, they are learning, they are improving. Their focus naturally limits their availability. Own. Many people make the mistake of thinking that attention creates value. In reality, value often creates attention. When someone develops rare skills, people seek them out. When someone becomes knowledgeable, opportunities begin to appear. Own. When someone becomes reliable and disciplined, others start noticing. They do not need to beg for attention because their work speaks for them. Their competence speaks for them. Their results speak for them. This is why chasing approval is often a losing game. Own. The more desperately someone seeks validation, the less valuable they appear. Confidence comes from building yourself, not from convincing others to approve of you. Real confidence grows when you know you are improving. It grows when you keep promises to yourself. Own. It grows when you make progress even when nobody is watching. One of the most important lessons a person can learn is that time is not free. Most people understand the value of money because they can see it leave their bank account. They can count every dollar. Own. They can measure every expense. But time is different. It disappears quietly. Minutes become hours. Hours become days. Days become years. Before people realize what happened, a significant portion of their lives has passed. Yet many continue spending time as if it has no value. Own. They give it away freely. They allow distractions to consume it. They hand it over to anyone who asks. Then they wonder why their goals remain unfinished. The truth is simple. Every yes comes with a cost. Every commitment requires time. Every promise requires energy. Own. Every obligation consumes part of your life. This does not mean you should stop helping people. It means you should become aware of what you are sacrificing whenever you agree to something. Own. Many people say yes when they desperately want to say no. They say yes because they fear disappointing others. They say yes because they want to be liked. They say yes because guilt makes them uncomfortable. For a short moment, saying yes feels easier. It avoids conflict. Own. It avoids awkward conversations. It creates temporary approval. But the hidden cost appears later. The person who constantly says yes becomes overwhelmed. Their schedule becomes crowded with obligations they never wanted. Own. Their energy becomes divided among too many responsibilities. Their own priorities get pushed further and further into the future. One day they look around and realize they have spent years helping everyone else move closer to their goals while neglecting their own. This pattern is more common than most people realize. People often believe they are being kind when they sacrifice themselves for everyone else. But there is a difference between kindness and self-abandonment. Kindness helps others without destroying yourself. Own. Self-abandonment constantly places your needs at the bottom of the list. The problem is that many people cannot tell the difference. They become addicted to being needed. They become uncomfortable when they are not helping someone. Own. They begin measuring their worth based on how much they can do for others. Over time, they lose touch with their own priorities. Their goals become secondary. Their dreams become optional. Their personal growth becomes delayed. Own. This is why learning to say no is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. A respectful no protects your future. A thoughtful no protects your energy. A confident no protects your focus. Every successful person understands this principle. Own. They know they cannot do everything. They know they cannot satisfy everyone. They know every commitment removes time from something else. Because of this, they become selective. They choose carefully. They understand that a meaningful yes requires many no responses behind it. Own. Another mistake people make is responding out of guilt. Guilt is a powerful emotion because it convinces people they are responsible for problems that are not theirs to solve. Someone feels lonely and you feel responsible. Someone is disappointed and you feel responsible. Own. Someone refuses to manage their own life and you somehow feel responsible. This mindset creates endless pressure. It creates emotional exhaustion. It creates a situation where your peace depends entirely on everyone else's happiness. Own. The problem is that this goal is impossible. No matter how hard you try, you cannot solve every problem. You cannot meet every expectation. You cannot carry every burden. The strongest people understand that responsibility has limits. They help when they can. Own. They support those they care about. They show compassion and kindness. But they also recognize that every adult is responsible for their own choices. They refuse to carry burdens that do not belong to them. Own. They refuse to sacrifice their future in an endless attempt to rescue everyone around them. Because of this, they maintain their energy, they maintain their focus, they maintain control over their lives. Own. Becoming expensive in the right way begins with understanding this principle. Many people hear the phrase and immediately think of arrogance. They think it means acting superior. They think it means treating people badly. They think it means pretending to be important. Own. But true value has nothing to do with arrogance. In fact, arrogance often hides insecurity. Truly valuable people do not need to constantly prove their worth. They do not need to remind everyone how important they are. Their behavior speaks for itself. Own. Their discipline speaks for itself. Their achievements speak for themselves. Becoming expensive means increasing the value you bring to the world. It means investing in your knowledge. It means improving your skills. It means becoming more capable than you were yesterday. Own. It means developing qualities that make you useful, reliable, and competent. Every skill you build increases your value. Every lesson you learn expands your opportunities. Every challenge you overcome strengthens your character. Own. Instead of spending years trying to convince people that you deserve respect, spend those years becoming the kind of person who naturally earns it. Own. This process requires patience because real value is built slowly. There are no shortcuts. A strong reputation takes years to create. Expertise takes years to develop. Confidence takes years to build. Yet many people become distracted by the easier path. Own. They focus on appearances instead of growth. They focus on attention instead of improvement. They focus on looking successful instead of becoming successful. The problem with this approach is that appearances eventually fade. Reality always catches up. Genuine value, however, own, continues growing over time. Protecting your schedules is another important part of becoming expensive. Every day contains a limited number of hours. How those hours are spent determines the direction of your life. People often talk about priorities own, but priorities are revealed through actions. If growth is a priority, time must be invested in growth. If health is a priority, time must be invested in health. If success is a priority, time must be invested in success. Words mean very little without action. Own. This is why protecting your schedule is so important. It prevents other people from deciding how your life will be spent. Many individuals allow their schedules to be controlled by outside demands. They react to every request. They respond to every interruption. They spend their days solving other people's problems. Then they wonder why their own goals remain unfinished. The answer is hidden in how their time is being used. Every hour given away without purpose is an hour that can never be recovered. Every unnecessary distraction steals time from something more meaningful. This is why high-value people guard their schedules carefully. They understand that time invested wisely compounds over months and years. Small improvements become major achievements. Consistent effort creates extraordinary results. As you continue developing yourself, an interesting shift begins to happen. People start respecting your time because they see that you respect it. People start valuing your attention because they realize it is not unlimited. People begin understanding that access to your energy is not automatic. It must be earned through mutual respect, trust, and genuine connection. You stop being available to everyone and instead become available to what truly matters. Your attention becomes intentional. Your choices become deliberate. Your energy becomes focused. The same hours that were once wasted trying to satisfy everyone else begin building the life you actually want. At the end of the day, the lesson is simple, but its impact can change your entire life. Diamonds are valuable because they are rare. They are not found everywhere. They are not available to everyone at any moment. Your attention works in a very similar way. The more carelessly you give it away, the less valuable it becomes. The more you protect it, the more powerful it becomes. This does not mean you should isolate yourself from the world. It does not mean you should ignore people or stop caring about others. The goal is not to disappear. The goal is to stop making yourself available to everyone all the time. There is a big difference between being kind and being constantly accessible. There is a big difference between helping people and sacrificing yourself for everyone around you. The moment you begin respecting your own time, other people notice. The moment you start protecting your energy, people begin treating it differently. The moment you stop saying yes to everything, your yes becomes more meaningful. Your value does not increase because you become distant. Your value increases because you finally recognize what you bring to the table. You understand that your time is limited, your attention is limited, your life is limited, and anything limited should be treated with care. Own. Do not become unavailable, become valuable. Do not become cold, become selective. Do not waste your energy trying to prove your worth to people who never appreciate it in the first place. Invest that energy into building yourself, improving your skills, own, strengthening your character, and creating a life that makes you proud. The people who truly matter will respect your boundaries. The people who only wanted unlimited access may not. And that difference will tell you everything you need to know. Years from now, own. Your life will be shaped by the choices you make today. Every time you protect your focus, you move closer to your goals. Every time you respect your time, you increase your value. Every time you choose growth over approval, you become stronger than you were yesterday. Own. The world does not reward those who are available to everyone. It rewards those who know where their time belongs. So the next time you feel pressured to give away your attention, remember this. Your time is your life. Once it is gone, it never comes back. Spend it wisely. Own. Protect it carefully. Invest it where it matters most. And little by little, you will become the kind of person whose presence is respected, whose attention is appreciated, and whose value is impossible to ignore. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our future videos. Also, take a second to like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.